Afternoon everybody, Rich here, back for another video for the Diecast F1 review. Here today is the Williams FW14 and FW14B from the 91 and 92 Formula 1 World Championship. A bit of a difference in the review this time. It's actually a comparison review as well as, well, a normal review. It's basically a comparison between Quartzo, i.e. there, and the one below Minichamps. The two slightly different cars, because of course one being 91 car was the passive car. The 92 car is the active suspension car. Yeah, well, we'll get on with the business end. We'll start with the 91 car. I'll start with the box anyway, because I'll take them out the box in a minute and do a proper review of the cars in a minute, but we'll just do a quick review of the box. The 91 car, this is the Patrese version, by the way. The Mansell version is a bit more expensive, so I had to leave it there. Sorry about the reflection, I've got the light behind me so it doesn't help. Anyway, this is the 91 car. It's in the, I think it was a release in 2006, because the box is in the Williams corporate colours at the time. As you can see the Williams F1 team logo there. But the box is basically a Minichamps box, just branded out in the Williams colours. Williams Renault FW14 Ricardo Patrese, and on the back there's nothing, and on the other side the same on the other side. But you do have the Minichamps brand out there. So that's pretty much the box for the 91 car. I will get to the car in a minute, and you can see the price tags as well. Not very well. £55 knocked down to £40. Not bad. But that's the Minichamps one out the way. Let's get on to the Quartzo one. Slightly bigger box, and car facing the other way as well. It's a standard Quartzo box. I think the only thing that's different really is the sticker, which is of course the car with its engine cover removed. On the other side, or on the sides, we have the a misspelling or a misprint there. Williams FW14B, the 1922 South African Grand Prix. There's quality control for you. On the back you got other cars from the collection you can pick up. I do have the 93 car. I also have the 68 car as well. I will be doing a review of that one at some time later in the future. Also got these two somewhere as well, but I'll do them another time. Back on the other side, 1922 South African Grand Prix again. That's the box for the Quartzo one. It is slightly bigger than the Minichamps one, they're only in height really, and also the car's facing the wrong way. So what I'm going to do now is just do a quick jump cut when I take the cars out the box, and we'll do the review proper. So back in a moment. Okay, back again. Now here's the cars out the box, and at first glance you'll be lucky to tell which one's which. They're both very close to quality, well, both paint scheme, quality, shape as well. There's very little difference between them. Well, I say quality is about the same. There is issues with quality on both models, but I'll get to that in a minute. On the left here is the 91 car, and on the right is of course the 92 car. Basically, the only thing to tell the difference is these ribs on, or these rims on the say not rims, they're flanges on the top of the suspension on the 92 car, where the hydraulics for the active suspension were housed. On the 91 car they weren't there. That's really the only difference between the two cars. Externally anyway, all the internal bits are all different, but get to that later on as well. So I just changed, move that one out of the way, bring in the 91 car. Of course, debuted in the US Grand Prix at Phoenix in 91. Initially pretty unreliable, but pretty fast straight out the box, and went on to claim, I think, 7 wins throughout 91. 5 for Mansell, I think maybe 2 for Patrese. Not sure, I think Patrese won 2. I'll have to double check on that one. But the championship went down to the wire, but McLaren ultimately came out on top. But of course, going into 92 with that car over there, things changed. Onto the model anyway. It's very nice. I like it, and that's not a valid point. It is a super quality model. There are bits that come off. There is the housing at the top of the suspension, which shows you all the detailing on there. Quite nicely done it as well. A bit of carbon detail on there as well. Can't really tell with the camera angle. And also the engine cover at the back here comes off, which just slides off. When the car is in the box, it does come with a plastic bubble over the top. So you've got this plastic bubble, which you basically screw to the base, and it sits over the car holding everything in place, which is a shame really, because when it's in the box it really does detract from it. So I usually display the cars in the box, but when it's got the bubble on, it just looks ridiculous. Bit of dust on the table, sorry. But apart from that, everything's okay. The only problem I have with the engine detailing is that there isn't the airbox on top of the lump, the engine itself. There's no. If I get to the 92 car, it does have the proper air scoop there, but it does show the detail quite nicely. As underneath the engine cover, there is no air scoop or anything like that under there. It's just painted black on the inside. Quite nicely made there. It is tough and is properly metal as well. The same with the piece on the top of the nose as well, held in by two pegs there. So just turn the car back around. Well, in a moment, just do a quick look at the detail in the rear. So you got the engine lump, big V10, the Renault. Look at all the suspension detailing. Probably anything is everything's hidden underneath the side pods. So the side pods don't come. It's just that one piece that comes off there. Whereas the 92 car, the whole bloody section comes off. But no biggie there. And you also get the exhaust underneath. So there you go there. Also a flat bottom car as well. Pre-94 of course. And I'm just trying to tip it over without breaking it. So there we go. I've noticed as well it's quite light once you take those two metal chunks off, so it does lose a bit of its weight. So I just reattached it. This one's not really held on with anything, it's just held in by its own weight, so it will just slot into place there. And then you got the cover on the nose there. So that's that one. Quality wise, it is absolutely stunning. It's very well put together. And it is quite chunky. The tyres do feel really chunky. They're not like Mattel where they're just shiny plastic. These are proper scrub slicks. The wheel rims as well are very nice as well. You got the Fond Metal wheel rim there. The driver does look a bit cramped in the cockpit, but then again it is the early 90s, so the cockpit was a bit cramped in there, so you can't really see the steering wheel very well. Although there is a bit of detailing on there. But yeah, the paintwork is absolutely stunning on this car as well. It's a very iconic car it is as well, from 1992 and 91 as well. Although they did have this colour scheme throughout the mid-80s as well, although it varied a bit as well. But overall, stunning car. Just trying to think what else to say of it. I'm not being too information wise at the moment, but I'm just sort of lost for words at the moment. Doesn't help. So going on to the build quality of this car, I'm pointing out the tyres are fine. The rear wing is pretty solid as well. It does flex a bit, but that's fine. Front wing, same again, flexes a bit, but it's solid on there. The suspension is pretty solid as well. The steering is very stiff as well, so they're not going to just snap off any given moment. The wing mirrors are probably the most delicate part on this model, so that avoid touching them if you can. I'll do a quick spin around the back. Absolute beauty of a car. Now I did say there is a Mansell version of this one as well. Mansell does come in the same box as well. He's also part of the Ayrton Senna collection as well. It's basically this car with Mansell in it, with Ayrton Senna sat on the top, replicating the scene from the end of the British Grand Prix that year, was Mansell giving Senna a lift home. And because of the Senna connection, those models go for ridiculous prices. So personally, I'll go for the Patrese one if you can pick it up quite cheap, which I did. I picked this up at the Goodwood Festival of Speed about 4 years ago, and it was £40, knocked down from 50. Sorry about that, the phone just rang there. What was I saying? I think it was about the price. Yeah, I picked this car up at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. It was £40, knocked down from 55, which I thought was quite a good deal, so I picked one of those up. But I tend to go for silly money on eBay. Especially the Mansell model, tend to go for £70–80. So, like I said, pick up the Patrese one if you can, and it's also quite good for decal conversion as well, because it's basically a blank canvas for the camel livery. So you put the camel stickers on the or decals on the engine cover and the side of the nose there, and job done. So that's basically that for it. We're going to convert it. But that's the 91 car out the way. I will bring it back in a minute. So just wheel them off to the side, and we'll bring in the 92 car. Now, judging by the weight of this thing, it does feel a hell of a lot different. What I was saying, the weight does make things feel different, and also notice the wheels are a bit pissed as well. Anyway, this is the 92 car. Car Mansell took to the championship in 92. It does feel quite stiff. Anyway, 9 wins throughout the season, and 1 win for Patrese, so that was 10 wins for the team. I'm pretty sure there could have been more, but Mansell crashing in certain races, like the Canadian race, and various reliability problems throughout the season later in the season anyway, to put paid to the utter domination of the team. Anyway, that's for 92. The car itself, although not hugely different, this is of course the Quartzo model. Excuse me. Now I've just noticed the quality difference is quite big actually. The weight is a hell of a lot different as well. It does feel a lot heavier than the 91 car, and of course it is the Mansell model as well. So we just do a quick zoom around here. Just notice that it doesn't roll either. The wheels are quite stiffly set on the car as well, so it's not going to roll away. Probably put it on a vertical wall and it's pretty stick to it. And also an issue with the quality of this car, the front steering track rod is a bit too long, so the front wheel sort of point different directions. So if you sort of push them together, they might stay together. But no, it won't stay very well. But visually, the only thing different between the two cars, of course, these flanges over the top of the suspension, hiding the hydraulics there. But we'll just get round to the side here as well. There's a bit more detail on the top of the side pods because you've got rivets painted on. You can't really see it. You've got rivets on the top of the white bodywork, which is a nice detail, something which most white cars these days don't have. It does add a little bit more detail. Now, for the removable engine cover, whereas the Williams, the 91 car, had a small section of the top of the bodywork, this one has the whole section, as you can see here. Because these side pods here are, well, they're made of metal and they don't flex, they get in the way of the wing mirrors, but the wing mirrors are actually made out of rubber. And they're quite, I think they've gone off a bit actually, because they're not as flexy as they used to be. So I'm going to have a hell of a job getting this engine cover off. So this may be an issue actually. I think I'll do a jump cut while I remove the engine cover, so back in a mo. I failed. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get the engine cover off. Apologies there. The only problem that I had, because the wing mirrors are not flexible enough, so the bodywork won't go around them, and also where the bodywork is moulded through the suspension, it just will not move. It's really awkwardly designed. If you sort of zoom in a bit there, you trying to see the bodywork goes through the suspension, so it's really awkward to move. So you've got the rear wing in the way, which doesn't help. So that's bollocks that up. So I apologise that one. You probably look online for a picture of the internals, or I could just look at the box. Where's the box? Where's the box? Yeah, that does show a picture. I just look at the box, and there it does show you the detail there. And well, you can't see it very well. Very pixelated picture, but you get an idea of how the bodywork or how the engine detail looks. So I do apologise there. Well, the other issues with the car, it does feel a bit flimsy in certain areas. So I've got the engine cover out of the way. The engine cover is screwed on as well. If I turn it, I've actually got to hold that in place there and turn it up there. There are two screw holes, one here and one here, which hold the engine cover in place. And I removed them before the video started just to save a bit of time, but the engine cover is held on with something there. So yeah, just get round to the back end of the car. The car does feel a bit cheap in this department because the suspension is not really quite well. It's quite loose that side, but it's quite stiff that side, so I'm not really sure if there's something broken or not there. And also the rear wing's on a bit at a funny angle as well, so but it is held on really well. I'm not sure, I don't really know what to say about this one. It does look good, but it just doesn't feel right. The Minichamps one just sort of feels a hell of a lot better, but this is a car that sort of fills a gap in the collection because Minichamps haven't released a 92 car, and then the only alternative I think is the Exotto model. Is it Exotto? No, I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but they released a 92 Williams as well. But you're probably going to pay about a gazillion pounds for that one because of the amount of detailing and the amount of bits that can be taken off. It's just ridiculous, and also the blue is a bit of a funny shade of blue as well, so take it as you will, but personally this is the only one I would go for. Well, it's in my budget range as well, so I may be a collector, but I wouldn't go as far as paying £300-400 for a single car. Oh no, that's not me. Anyway, back to this one. Just look at the front wing. There's moulded carbon detail on the front wing. As you can see, it's quite nicely moulded on there. The decals are a bit rough and ready on there though, which is the only issue. Let's look around the detail there. I've noticed that the front suspension on this car is made out of metal. I think there is another version of this this mould. Now the suspension is plastic, but on mine it's metal. And as you saw there, the paint has actually chipped off on the suspension. You can't zoom in very well, but the paint has chipped off there, and it is. And that arm there is plastic, but the front, the track rod's metal. That's weird. So that arm there's metal. Oh, I see. The pull rod or the push rod is metal. And the track rod's metal, but the wishbones are plastic. Oh, that's confusing me even more. Yes. Anyway, that's the front wing out of the way, and also, yeah, the suspension does feel a bit loose. I won't pull that wheel anymore in case I end up pulling it off. And also another issue with this model is the massive gap in the bodywork. You can see there where the bodywork lifts off. There's a huge gap there. I'm not sure if I put it back. No, I did put it back right. It's just a huge gap in the bodywork, as you can see there. I didn't need me to point to it, but yeah, that gap is quite catastrophic, and no matter how much adjusting I do, that will not cover up. Is it the same on the other side? Yeah, it is. It's huge gap in that body. That's a huge fail by Quartzo, really, because I mean, Minichamps managed to pull that off. It's just a small piece, but that is quite catastrophic. The gap in the bodywork there. The rest of it don't seem too bad down the side there. Yeah, there's a bit of an issue with that one. But other than that, it does feel a really heavy model. It is really heavy. Let me just bring the other one in. I haven't got the scales to hand, so but yeah, that really does feel nearly double the weight of the Minichamps model. It's probably because of the engine detailing inside, because it does weigh it down a bit. But I do apologise, I couldn't get the engine cover off. But if you do look at the two cars together, they do look almost identical in terms of quality. But until you get to the real close look at the Quartzo car, you really see how the detail really does fade away a little bit, like on the engine cover gap in the front wheels, which are pointing different directions. So yeah, there are a few issues, but if you're willing to overlook them, then by all means. I mean, it's not on display in my cabinet or anything. It's just sitting in its box, and it does look good in this box, and that's where it's pretty much going to stay, because there are a few glaringly obvious issues with this car. Now we'll do a quick tippy over, tip this car upside down. Another issue with this car is the bottom plate is shiny plastic, which scratches very easily, whereas on the Minichamps model it's more grainy plastic, sort of a carbon texture, and a bit just fell off it. Also got some nice, not really nice, just bits of metal plugged in there. So you got the big Quartzo there, Williams FW14B, made in China. There's a surprise. As I noticed, you got some rivets on the diffuser as well. So there's a bit of detailing there. So they've stretched the boundary a little bit with their detailing. So they've got the nicely sculpted detailing on the underside of the diffuser, and on the underside of the nose, all present and correct there. The front wing is held on by a screw, which is unusual. Usually these things are held on by a rivet or something like that. Just look at the Minichamps one. Yeah, the Minichamps one's held on by a screw as well. I just noticed. So there's plenty of things that I've overlooked. But to tip this thing over, it does weigh a ton. But we've got the wheel rims there, quite nicely detailed, and the same on the front one. So there's, like I said, there is plenty of plus sides to this car, but there are plenty of negatives as well. If you're willing to overlook the negatives, then by all means pick this car up, because it does fill the gap in the collection. Because, like I said, if you're going to buy this car, you only got this one by Quartzo or the Exotto one, which you're going to pay £1 bazillion for. So personally, I'll go for this one until you win the lottery, perhaps. But yeah, it's an alright model. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 or anything. The Minichamps one is a hell of a lot better. That does have its issues as well, which I hadn't really pointed out. They do have their ups and downs. I just moved the Quartzo one out the way again. It weighs a ton. But here we are, back with the Minichamps one, and the only real issue I have found with it is this engine piece here, because when I tipped the car over, it fell off. But now I can't get it off. Anyway, there we go. There's the engine piece. It's held on with two pegs, and it does fall off and you just tip it over. That's why it's supplied with a bubble in the box, so just to track that way. And I will just do a quick looky underneath. I didn't think I tipped it up when I first did it, but there we go. There's the flat bottom of the car, and it's more of a matte finish. Also, it's got the rivets on the diffuser as well. I didn't realise that. Oh well, me not paying attention. And it's more grey rather than shiny black compared to the Quartzo model. But not a huge issue there. But yeah, not much else I can say about it at the moment. I will give the Minichamps one basically a 9 out of 10 because it is so lovely. And the Quartzo model I'll probably give a 6 or a 7 because of its issues. I mean, it doesn't even roll. I mean, I'm trying to push it along and it will not roll, whereas the Minichamps one, it will roll. Which is not a big issue though, because I mean, you're not going to play with them on the carpet, although it is tempting. Yeah, I'll say the Minichamps one is the better car, and the Quartzo one is basically just a collection filler, basically, until something else comes out. I think Minichamps have announced that they're going to do the 92 car, but when Minichamps announce something, it does take about 1,000 years before they actually do anything. Anyhow, but production anyway. But anyway, that's my review. That's what I've got to say on the matter, and I haven't really got much else to say on these cars because all the things I did plan on saying I've pretty much forgotten. But anyway, that's my review. That's what I've got to say, and that covers the Williams FW14 and 14B. Thanks for watching this review. Like I said in the past, if you want to request a review of a specific car, and if you want to, just post a comment and I shall see if I have it, and I'll do a review of it. But anyway, this is Rich logging off, signing off, disappearing and buggering off and all that stuff, and I shall return with another review. So bye for now.